Hi all. Now I'm going to show you how I made the card. And there's a few things you need to gather, and it's mostly information. I used custom colors on this card to match the for the writing and the gradient, to match the cardstock that I wanted to use, which was a Stampin' Up! Set of cardstock, which was Stampin' Up! Colors. I have been lucky enough through Google, and you can do this Googling, you can do this for Stampin' Up! Colors, you can do it for uh, Close to My Heart colors. Just Google Close to My Heart RGB codes or Google Stampin' Up! RGB codes. And find one that you like that gives you the RGB codes. You will use them. I'll explain what they are as we do them. You also might, if the site you find only has RGB, you will also need to Google for RGB converters to convert from RGB to hex, because Design Space uses hex for the color names, color codes. But so that's what I found, and so now you can do the gradient in a number of different programs. I've done gradients in Microsoft Publisher, and I believe you could likely do it in Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, but I haven't really figured out how to do that yet. Not everybody has Microsoft Publisher because it is a fairly expensive piece of software. It comes with Microsoft Office. It might come with the home version that gets bundled onto your computer. I don't know. I happen to get the professional version of Microsoft Office for free from work, so that's why I have it. There's also a program called OpenOffice. It's a great little program. It's a free version, totally compatible with Microsoft Office, and the package inside that called Impress, which is its version of PowerPoint and Publisher, should do the same thing as well. Inkscape will also do it, and Ken Kindler was kind enough to point me to a website that showed how to do it, that gave a tutorial on it. So that's what I used, and that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start Inkscape, and I'm going to make the window a bit bigger here, just so everything shows. And all you need to do in Inkscape is create a rectangle, and it's defaulting to the last color I used. And I had created the color with the RGB codes for the colors that I was going to use. And here up here it says fill and stroke. And I'm going to double, that was just to help that I missed, and so we'll close that. So now that that's there, I'm going to go Object, Fill and Stroke, to bring up the fill and stroke. And the fill, here it says linear gradient, and that's what I used. So I click the linear gradient, and it's just got one stop on it. But the linear gradient, I can edit it, and I can put in the RGB codes, excuse me, for the color I want to use. And I'm using Regal Rose from the Stampin' Up! Line, and the RGB chart I had said the Regal Rose colors were these three: 245, 160, and 166. You put, that's the R, the G, and the B code. I'm going to add a stop so that I can add another code to my gradient, and I'm going to change the color of that excuse me, of that to the other color, which is Tempting Turquoise. And Tempting Turquoise, according to the RGB code that I have, is 98, 191, and 220. So there, now I have the two colors. And I have blue on the one side, and here is the rose here. And as I move this line, you can see how big or how small the rose is. And I just make it simple, and I go back to here, and I'm going to go here where it says repeat, reflected. Let's see what happens. Come on. Okay, that's bringing that into the middle. I created one earlier with the rose in the middle and the blue on the edges, and but you see the effects you can get? And so I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to direct, you reflect it, but you play around with it until you get the colors you like. And then you save it. When you save it as, and where did I put it? You save it as okay, cancel. Let's cancel here. File, save as. Let's bring that down so we can see everything. Down here with the title, you're going to click on that, and you want to change it and save it as a PNG. And you can see here where I created one earlier. This is the one that I created earlier, and that's the one I'm going to use for the demonstration. So I'm just going to cancel this and close this, and I'm not going to save it. Close without saving. That's what you need to create to do the gradient layer that I did. Now we're ready to upload and insert images. I uploaded, so first I need to upload, and I'm going to do, I already uploaded this one, so I'm going to select it. But if I were to upload it again, you'd upload it, clean up so the white around it is erased in that, but we're just going to insert that since I already had uploaded it at one time. And I'm going to insert that, and that's flat and set, and we're going to keep that. Now I'm going to insert images. And I know I'm going to need a rectangle for what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to also need the card shape that I found. I looked it up before. I know it was on Creative Holiday cards. So I'm going to search for Creative Holiday. And I'm going to view all 29 images in the Creative Holiday cards. And the one I had found that I liked was this one, Square Flourish card. So, and we're going to insert that. So now we have everything we need. So let's move a few things around. I made it a 5x7 card. So I am going to edit this one, and I'm going to unlock, and the height is going to be 7 inches, and the width is going to be 10 inches because it's a 5x7 card and you need 2 sides. So there's the 5x7 card. And just so that, and now I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to ungroup, and I am going to duplicate this piece a couple of times because I'm going to need it for a couple of different things. So I'm going to duplicate it I think I only need 2. Let's do a third one. Okay. Duplicate it 3 times. I don't know that I'm going to need that many, and I'll dump one if I don't. Okay? So, just to start out, I want this to look the color that I'm going to do it, which is that tempting turquoise. So I'm going to edit that layer. Oh, excuse me, I take that back. I'm going to go over here, click on it to bring up the color, and here the custom color picker. Now I went to this site that I have up here, which is what I'd found, and if you put in the RGB values, it spits back for you the hexadecimal color that you want. And since my background was the turquoise, I had put that in. So I know, and I wrote it down. So my turquoise hexadecimal color, you go down here into this box right here, and you just type over it with a pound sign or hashtag, whatever you want to call it, and the hexadecimal code. And for this one, I know it's 62BFDC. And there is my blue background card. So I know that's my blue background card. And for the moment, I'm going to hide it because I don't need it right now. Okay. Oh, I take that back. I want it back on for just a minute. Okay. This is going to be the inside. And this is going to be the outside. So I'm going to turn these two pink just so I can see them. The pink was the rose. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to custom color. And my custom color for the rose is hashtag F5A0A6. And there's that rose. And to make it easier so that I don't have to do it again, I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to duplicate this one. So those three pieces I don't need right now. So I am going to hide them for the moment. I always hide what I'm not working on. Okay, I'm going to hide that. Now I am going to create, and that's right, I only need one of these, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Oh, but first, I need to turn this one back on for a minute because I want this smaller. So I want to bring this to the front, put it on here, and I want to make it smaller, just so it layers nicely. I like that layer. So we're going to keep that, and now we're going to turn this one off. So we're going to go here, and we're going to make this rectangle a bit bigger, and I'm going to turn it white, just so I can see what I'm doing better. And I'm going to turn this one. This is something that Melody showed us many months ago in one of her videos. And this is just, these two are just the perfect size. This one is, let's make this one just a, oops, wrong one. Undo. That's this one. Let's make this just a tad bigger. And just to make sure I still have the right size. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to turn this back off now. And so I'm going to center this one on here. I'm going to highlight both of them, and I'm going to slice. I'm going to take this panel, and it can go away. I don't need it anymore. Now I'm going to bring here this flattened set, and I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to pull this over top of it. Make it just, again, slightly bigger than this. Actually, Let's unlock that. All right, for now, we're good. Now we need to add some text. And I just did this with text. You could do this with a phrase you find on the within the subscription within your library, but I decided that I like this. So I'm going to type in my text, which is thinking of, let's go back, thinking of you. And it's showing as a writing style because that's what I used last. And so I'm going to go back and I'm going to change this back to cut for now. Why isn't it letting me? All right, let's start over. I'm going to add text. Thinking of you. Go to edit. Okay, I had chosen the billionaire, and this is a writing style. I'm going to change it back to regular. Okay, now I can go to edit. Now there's two layers to this. There's the outline and the fill. The outline, okay, now it's turned back to the color. So that fill color, I also wanted to be the turquoise. So I'm going to go find my turquoise, and then it's hashtag 62BFDC. I want it to stay though. I want the outline color, which is also a cut. I want it black. And let's go back to edit. I want to center it. I want to reduce my letter spacing a bit. And I want to reduce my line spacing a bit. A little too much. So that looks good. Now, because this is going to be a landscape card, I need to rotate this. So I'm going to rotate it. Actually, it can go either way because you'll turn it one way or the other. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And I'm going to bring it over here and put it where I want it and make it just the right size. So now I have everything for this particular experiment, for this particular element. I'm going to go back here to this layer, this sliced image, and I'm going to turn it off for a minute. So I'm going to take these two layers, put them together, and flatten them. Now it's a flattened set. Now I'm going to turn my sliced image back on. I'm going to send that forward. I'm going to highlight these two. And I'm going to attach. But now it's wanting to print this attached set. So I'm going to change that back to cut. So that when it cuts, it'll cut this shape out. So we're good with that, and we can turn that one off. Now we want to, sometimes this won't turn off, but that's okay. So now I'm going to turn on this square flourish, and I'm going to add text again. And the text I put on the inside was, "You are in my thoughts and prayers today and always." And I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to select writing, and then I'm going to reduce my line spacing a little bit. I'm going to reduce my letter spacing just a bit. And again, I'm going to center it. I am going to rotate it 90 degrees. And just, I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to, let's move it over. There, now I'm going to highlight both of these. And I'm going to go layers, and I'm going to attach. So now if we turn everything on, we have all of the elements that I used to make the card. I cut them out. I layered them. The only thing, other thing I added was I found an Anna Griffin embossing folder in my stash, and I embossed the front of the card, and then I highlighted the embossing with the matching ink pad. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.